Good evening, boys and girls and Midway students. This week I have the privilege of reading for you guys The 10th Good Thing About Barney. It's by Judith Vorst and it's illustrated by Eric Blugar. I'm reading this week, boys and girls. This week we had a very traumatic thing to happen in the life of our school. We had a student who passed away in the first grade. And so what I want to do is I want to read this book and talk about when we experience the loss of someone that we love. And so in this book, we have an opportunity to talk or to see a character who loses something in someone that they love, okay? All right, let's read The 10th Good Thing About Barney. My cat Barney died last Friday. I was very sad. I cried and I didn't watch television. I cried and I didn't eat my chicken or even the chocolate pudding. I went to bed and I cried. My mother sat down on my bed and she gave me a hug. She said we could have a funeral for Barney in the morning. She said I should think of 10 good things about Barney so I could tell them at the funeral. I thought and I thought and I thought of good things about Barney. I thought of 9 good things. Then I fell asleep. In the morning, my mother wrapped Barney in a yellow scarf. My father buried Barney in the ground by a tree in the yard. Annie, my friend from next door, came over with flowers, and I told good things about Barney. Barney was brave, I said, and smart and funny and clean, also cuddly and handsome, and he also once ate a bird. It was sweet, I said, to hear him purr in my ear, and sometimes he slept on my belly and kept it warm. Those are all good things, said my mother, but I just could only count 9. I said I would try to think of another one later. At the end of the funeral, we sang a song for Barney. We couldn't remember any cat song, so we sang one about a pussy willow. Even my father knew a few words. Then Annie and I went into the kitchen with Mother. She gave us orangeade and butter cookies, and she left the box on the table so that we could have seconds. I gave my seconds to Annie. I miss Barney, I said. And Annie said Barney was in heaven with lots of cats and angels, drinking cream and eating cans of tuna. I said Barney was in the ground. Heaven, said Annie, heaven. So there, the ground, I told her, the ground. You don't know anything. My father came in from the yard and took the cookie. Big Mouth Annie said heaven again. I said ground. Tell her who's right, I asked Father. She doesn't know anything. Maybe Barney's in heaven, my father began. Aha, said Annie, and stuck her tongue out at me. And maybe, said my father, Barney isn't. What did I tell you, I said, and yanked Annie's braid. Father made me let go. We don't know too much about heaven, he told Annie. We can't be absolutely sure that it's there. But if it's there, said Annie, in her absolutely sure voice, it's bound to have room for Barney and tuna and cream. She finished another cookie and went back home. My father told me he had work in the garden. I said that I would help, but only a little. I told him I didn't like it that Barney was dead. He said, why should I like it? It's sad, he said. He told me that it might not feel so sad tomorrow. My father had a packet of little brown seeds. He shook some out in his hand. The ground will give them food and a place to live, he said. And soon they'll grow a stem and some leaves and flowers. I squeezed the packet open and looked down to the bottom. I told him, I don't see leaves and I don't see flowers. Things change in the ground, said my father. In the ground, everything changes. Will Barney change too? I asked him. Oh, yes, said my father. He'll change until he's a part of the ground in the garden. And then I asked, will he help to make flowers and leaves? He will, said my father. He'll help grow the flowers and he'll help grow the tree and some grass. You know, he said, that's a pretty nice job for a cat. My father and I planted all of the seeds in the garden. Mother made sandwiches and we ate them under the tree. After lunch, we worked in the garden some more. At night, I still don't want to watch any television. When I turned out the light, mother sat down on my bed. She gave me a hug and I said I had something to tell her. Listen, I said. I told the good things about Barney. Barney was brave, I said, and smart and funny and clean, also cuddly and handsome, and only once ate a bird. It was sweet, I said, to hear him purr in my ear, and sometimes he slept on my belly and kept it warm. Those are all good things, said my mother, but I still just count 9. Yes, I said, but now I have another. Barney is in the ground and he's helping grow flowers. You know, I said, that's a pretty nice job for a cat. Thank you, boys and girls, for hearing my story. But I want you to understand that sometimes when we lose people, we want to remember the good things about them. And so our wonderful student here who we lost this week, what I want you guys to do is encourage and to say nice things about her. If those of you who knew her, to say all of the good things that you knew about her and why she was important to Midway. Thank you for reading with me today, boys and girls. Have an awesome day.